Hi, students. This is your makeup for Thursday, September 24th. We're going to do a pretty short amount of work today. We're going to do our PDSA document for genetics. So let's switch over to that. Here is your PDSA document that we're going to be working on. This is this is for genetics PDSA. If you'll notice down at the bottom, you have your study act first, and then your plan due, and then your academic vocabulary. And that is just so this part right here, this assessment part with your assessments down here, and then the act part. That's just so that will be a little bit more accessible to you. Let's go ahead and start on the second tab over, plan due. We're going to work first with the 08 LS3-2 standard, and that standard says develop and use a model to describe why asexual reproduction results in offspring with identical genetic information and sexual reproduction results in offspring with genetic variation. So what the first thing you need to do on this is you need to answer, what is this standard asking me to do? And so you're going to type your answer here. Take just a second, read through the standard, and see what your very first verbs are within the standard. Now that you've taken a look, you should be able to see that the first thing that you'll want to work on is developing and using a model. Does this mean that you need to create a model all on your own? No, it doesn't. You're going to develop one. I'll give you some basics for a model, and you guys will develop that with different scenarios. Then you're going to use that model. What are you going to use the model for? You're going to use the model to describe. And there are two things that you will be describing. See if you can figure out what those are. So you will describe, you're going to use your model to describe why asexual reproduction results in offspring with identical genetic information. That's one thing. You're also going to use a model to describe why sexual reproduction results in offspring with genetic variation. Take just a second. You can go back and listen to that again if you need to. Type in what the standard's asking you to do, if you need to add anything else to that on your end. And then when you've finished with that, type out the standard in your own words. Okay, now that you are finished, go ahead, please, and go to the first tab. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Let's go to the first tab. So this is your Study and Act tab. So we're going to work here in the pre-assess. So this is your very first column. So you're going to do the same thing that we did last time, and you will choose the first box that goes with your first learning target under the pre-assess column. You'll go up and you will use the little paint bucket, and you'll decide which color best represents what it where you are right now with that learning target. So for the first one, you might be like, well, I remember a little bit of it, so it's not like brand new to me, but I don't remember it well enough I can't remember the words exactly, okay? Or you may be like, yeah, actually, I think I remember that pretty well, okay? Most of the time, you're going to be in reds and oranges, but you may have some yellows, and every now and then you may have a green in this first column over here. I'm going to change this back to blank. You will go through each one of these boxes. So there are 7 boxes that we're going to do for the first part of this unit. Later on, we'll add in some more information. Now that you are finished with the first part, let's go on to academic vocabulary. So when you come on over to academic vocabulary, I've added in a new column for you. It says, I do not know what this is. And that's just to help clear up a little bit of confusion. I heard back from some students that they didn't really know what to do if they didn't know what the word was. So maybe you're going to go down to phenotype and be like, I have no idea what this is. So you would type in 924. But for chromosomes, you may be like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I can tell you what a chromosome is in my own words, and I could probably answer a few questions about it. So I would type in the date for all of the things that are correct today, all of the things that apply today. So this is what you will need to do on your own as makeup for your live session. Once you have finished with this, if you have not finished with your summative, you need to show up for the extra help session on Friday at 10 a.m. You received probably two emails, one from Google Meet and one from Infinite Campus one from Google Classroom and one from Infinite Campus that will show you what the link is in order to get into that extra session. So go ahead and come into that extra session tomorrow morning. That's Friday morning at 10 o'clock to make sure that you get your summative done. The summative was due on Wednesday, the 23rd, and we do not want any of you to wind up without your summative score. So that's it for the makeup for today. You will find this. You will find the PDSA if you're kind of stuck looking for that. Let me bring this over here. You will find the PDSA in your Google Classroom under PDSA. So there's a new tab there, and that will be available to you so that it's a little bit easier to find. Kind of heard from some of you that, well, that might be kind of hard to find. Okay. Hope that you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in person on Monday.